Modmypi Limited was founded by me in the start of March 2012. We designed and manufacture cases for the Raspberry Pi, which is a kind of novel mini microcomputer, very cheap, which was designed by the Raspberry Pi Foundation, which is a charity. They're trying to promote computer science in schools, in learning, to try and get more people programming in the UK and in Britain. Basically, the computer, it's the size of a credit card, just comes as like a bare, uncased circuit board. So our idea, or what we wanted to do, was make cases for it. So that's what we do. Okay, so in recent years, when I was at school, we did ICT, which is learning how to use software, Microsoft Word, Excel, learning how to use the software rather than learning how the computers actually work, which is what people used to do in school. So there's the BBC Micro, the Sinclair Spectrum, these kind of computers people used to use, they used to program, they used to learn how the software works. And if you couldn't do something with it, you would design the software to do whatever you wanted to do. So this is what the Raspberry Pi Foundation are trying to do. They're trying to bring back the age of the BBC Micro and Sinclair Spectrum and get people programming again, getting people to learn how computers work rather than just how the software works. So I saw how popular the Raspberry Pi was, and it's one of those, you look at the board and it does look quite fragile. It's got bits and pieces which you can knock off. I mean, the fact that it's £24 is good, and the point of it is that it is dispensable. If a child drops it, it's not going to matter because you can buy another one. But if you can case the unit for £4, £5, £6, £7, then you might as well. So just browsing the forums, the Raspberry Pi community, people were like, is anyone going to make a case for it? And there were a few case ideas, this kind of stuff. So it was 50% people saying we want a case for it, and 50% of me saying here's a case. So the finance was raised based on paid pre-orders for the cases. So we put one of my very good friends, he's a website designer. I said, can you make a website for this product? We put the renders, the 3D renders of the products on the website and said, you can come and pre-order this now. It'll be available within the next couple of months. And we got a massive response from that. And it was the paid for pre-orders, which meant that we had the finance to then pay for the injection molding, tooling, and everything we needed to actually finance it. With civil engineering, we did do various business modules, and we did a finance module as well. So that did come and it helped me in terms of writing the business plan. The Innovation Centre here supported me through that process I sent them a business plan, they read through it and said, this is good, this is what's wrong with it, can you rewrite it in this way? Real skill pool which I've had to outsource was the website development, which, as I say, I've had a very good friend who's good at that stuff, just basically do it for me. In terms of the business, these are just skills that I've learned. I've always wanted to run my own business, always wanted to own my own business. My granddad told me that you never make any money working for someone else. So while I'm young and I basically haven't got much to lose, I don't own a house, I don't have kids to look after. If everything does go right, it doesn't really matter because I can recover from it, but at the moment it's really successful. Okay, so we opened pre-order sales in 21st of March. As of 21st of June, we've sold about 8,000 cases. In terms of starting the business, it all happened really fast. I made the decision that I was going to go for this at 100%. So it all happened very rapidly. We got the company incorporated. We did the designs. A lot of the feedback from the designs we wanted to get from the Raspberry Pi community themselves. As they're the people who are going to be using it. They know what they want from a case. So putting designs on the forums saying, just give me some feedback, rip it to shreds. And they did that, and that's kind of where the final design came from for the case.
So you were really using social media a lot then, weren't you?
Yeah, social media has been incredibly helpful. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, forums. I mean, these are all kind of free marketing platforms which have been really useful. I mean, the consumer base, the customer base that we aim at is that kind of online community. You know, these are the kind of people who will be using these Raspberry Pis and developing them. So that free social media platform was basically perfect for what we wanted to do. At the moment, it's me. I own 95% of the shares. The website developer owns 5% of the shares. I've just hired a graduate for the next 2 months to help me with kind of initial pre-order backlog. So it's just the three of us at the moment.
How easy or difficult do you think it will be to bring in the kind of skills that you're going to need for expansion?
I think in terms of bringing in more people, there are opportunities to do so. I've had people from the University of Exeter approach me and say, you know, we can basically give you graduates if you need them. So we can get that for kind of graduate work. In terms of more specialist experience, there's in the Southwest, there's a good kind of business group which we can feed into and feed off of in terms of getting the skills that we need to expand. So manufacturing is being done at Hymid R&D, which is an injection molding company based down in Brixham, so quite close to here. The contact for that came from the Centre for Additive Layer Manufacturing, who are the guys who did the prototyping for us. One of the guys there, Ed James, came to me and he said, I know someone who can do this for you. So I got kind of a few different quotes from various different people. Hymid were very, very enthusiastic about me as like a person, because I'm quite young and a recent graduate, I think, and the product themselves, because you know the Raspberry Pi Foundation, it's a charity, it's a good product. So that's where we got it done in the end as Hymid, basically because they gave me the best quote and because they were so enthusiastic about wanting to work with me. The most challenging aspect of running a business is the fact that you don't get to switch off. You're working 14, 16-hour days straight, 7 days a week. You don't really get the time to unwind. Long-term business aims, we want to expand, we want to get the business. We've got the one product which is selling really well. There's a lot of suggestions that I've had from the Raspberry Pi community about what we want to, or what they want to see in maybe the version 2 case or that kind of thing. So we can keep expanding on what we have. We have that one case, but we want to make more products which are maybe an updated version 2, that kind of thing. As well as that, there's other boards. I'm sure that there's another board called the APC Android, which is coming out very soon. But that is a very cheap board computer. We can make a case for that as well. So there's a lot of areas we can expand, and this is what we want to do. Social media marketing is really good because it's free. So you do have, Facebook is free. People can come and they can ask you questions, and you can answer them for free. You can put videos on YouTube of prototype products, of the product itself. People come, they look at the video, they think, that looks cool, I'm going to buy one. Forums, as I said, they're really good for getting people for feedback, getting people to critique it, but also getting people to see that these are available as an option. Search engines are amazing because someone searches Raspberry Pi case, we come at the very top of the list. You can come and buy a case from us. So in addition to that, kind of getting that community around the whole Raspberry Pi is quite important, and these social media platforms really feed into that. We're probably so successful now because of the amount of support we've had from various sources, the manufacturers we're using, the university, the guys we use for prototyping. All of the support and the contacts that they managed to give me has led to the success of the business so far. So if you're starting a new business, the best advice I could give you is surround yourself with positive, supportive people, people who know other people, and people who know business.